The Dharma Karma Adhipati Yogas, Libra Lagna core principle, Dharma and Karma integration. For Libra Lagna, ruled by Venus, Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga forms through Saturn, which rules both the fourth house, Capricorn home, institutions, stability, real estate, and the fifth house, Aquarius, intelligence, merit, higher knowledge, children. This creates a very powerful yoga where Saturn links personal foundations, fourth, with accumulated dharmic merit, fifth, making Libra natives highly capable of institutional leadership, administrative governance, and long-term intellectual legacy. When Saturn is well placed, the individual becomes a karmic stabilizer who governs with discipline, structure, and lasting influence, supported by Venus diplomacy and refinement. Saturn, fourth and fifth lord, in Capricorn, fourth house, own sign, unafflicted queen. This is the strongest Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga for Libra Rising. Saturn stabilizes institutions, real estate, educational bodies, and public organizations. The native rises as a trusted public administrator, educational leader, property magnate, or institutional head, overseeing long-term projects with patience, precision, and ethical leadership. Saturn, fourth and fifth lord, in Aquarius, fifth house, own sign, unafflicted. Saturn in Aquarius amplifies intellectual legacy, higher knowledge, and karmic merit. The native becomes a policymaker, educator, or legislative authority who shapes long-term public policy, legal frameworks, or institutional reforms. This position gives intellectual discipline, capacity for complex governance, and legacy building across generations. Venus, Lagna Lord, in Libra, first house, own sign, anchoring grace and balance in leadership. Venus enhances personal charm, diplomacy, and refined judgment. When supported by Saturn's Dharma Karma alignment, the native becomes a dignified, balanced leader capable of managing institutions, political negotiations, or cultural organizations with poise and aesthetic intelligence. Moon, 10th Lord, in Taurus, 8th house, exalted, stabilizing emotional depth and leadership. Exalted moon in the 8th house grants emotional resilience, financial acumen, and depth of understanding in handling joint resources, institutional finances, or transformative leadership roles. The native excels in managing trusts, public funds, or institutions that require both emotional maturity and structural control. Jupiter, 3rd and 6th Lord, in Sagittarius, 3rd house, own sign, empowering strategic communication. Jupiter here boosts public relations, ethical communication, and intellectual clarity in leadership. The native becomes a respected advisor, diplomat, or educator who balances Saturn's structural leadership with wise counsel, strong negotiation, and ethical public engagement. Mercury, 9th and 12th Lord, in Virgo, 12th house, exalted, refining spiritual service and institutional management. Exalted Mercury sharpens the native's ability to manage international relations, spiritual institutions, or large charitable organizations. The native thrives in global governance, diplomatic missions, or educational institutions where intellectual precision serves higher spiritual or karmic goals. Mars, 2nd and 7th Lord, in Aries, 7th house, own sign, energizing public partnerships and alliances. Mars empowers strong business partnerships, public relations, and legal negotiations. The native becomes a powerful deal maker, legal expert, or political strategist who leverages Mars's courage with Saturn's discipline to control large organizations or public contracts. Rahu in Taurus, 8th house, amplifying institutional control and financial transformation. Rahu magnifies the native's ability to handle joint finances, institutional assets, and public trusts. When balanced, this creates powerful administrators of wealth or transformation. When imbalanced, it can lead to excessive material attachment or secretive financial dealings. Ketu in Scorpio, 2nd house, disposed by Mars Ketu, fosters detachment from personal wealth while enhancing control over institutional finances. The native may become a custodian of public funds, spiritual organizations, or wealth management systems where Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga brings karmic balance, legacy building, and ethical research. The Dharma Karma Adhipati Yogas, Capricorn Lagna core principle, Dharma and Karma integration. For Capricorn Lagna, ruled by Saturn, Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga forms through Venus, which rules both the 5th house, Taurus, intelligence, merit, creativity, children, and the 10th house, Libra, career, authority, public reputation. This creates a highly auspicious combination where Venus unites past life merit, 5th, with present karmic actions, 10th, elevating Capricorn natives toward graceful leadership, public success, and long-term institutional authority. When Venus is strong and Saturn provides disciplined execution, this yoga supports career prominence, artistic mastery, political diplomacy, and karmic fulfillment through elegant governance. Venus, 5th and 10th Lord, in Taurus, 5th house, own sign, unafflicted. This is one of the most powerful Dharma Karma Adhipati Yogas for Capricorn Rising. Venus here stabilizes intellectual creativity, institutional leadership, and advisory roles. The native becomes a cultural leader, policymaker, advisor, or executive authority who blends intellect, aesthetics, and ethical leadership into their public career. Venus, 5th and 10th Lord in Libra, 10th house, own sign, unafflicted. Venus in the 10th house grants career prominence, widespread recognition, and authority in public roles. The native excels in diplomatic leadership, corporate governance, politics, or the arts. Venus here ensures both charm and strategy in professional dealings, creating enduring public influence with refined decision-making. Saturn, Lagna Lord, in Capricorn, 1st house, own sign, anchoring personal authority and discipline. Saturn fortifies personal endurance, responsibility, and karmic strength. This allows Venus's Dharma Karma link to operate with consistency and ethical rigor. The native gains trust as a stable leader, administrator, or head of institutions who handles long-term responsibilities with patience and justice. Moon, 7th Lord, in Taurus, 5th house, exalted, stabilizing partnerships and creative leadership. Exalted Moon in the 5th house enhances emotional intelligence, popularity, and creative thinking. The native excels in public speaking, leadership, and advisory positions where empathy, wisdom, and diplomacy shape both personal partnerships and institutional responsibilities. Jupiter, 3rd and 12th Lord, in Sagittarius, 12th house, own sign, expanding global and spiritual leadership. Jupiter here supports international connections, spiritual wisdom, and charitable governance. The native may engage in global institutions, spiritual organizations, or large charitable trusts where karmic service aligns with material leadership. Mercury, 6th and 9th Lord, in Virgo, 9th house, exalted, refining dharmic administration and advisory roles. Exalted Mercury sharpens intellect, legal expertise, and policymaking. The native becomes an excellent legal strategist, administrator, or educator, whose public role is marked by wisdom, precision, and ethical responsibility. Mars, 4th and 11th Lord, in Aries, 4th house, own sign, energizing institutional control and political stability. Mars empowers the native's authority over property, real estate, and institutional assets. The individual may lead public trusts, educational institutions, or real estate enterprises with strategic precision and bold governance supported by Venus diplomacy. Rahu in Taurus, 5th house, amplifying creative intelligence and public influence. Rahu magnifies the native's intellectual charisma, political influence, and public popularity. Properly guided, this produces cultural leaders, policymakers, or powerful diplomats. When imbalanced, it may create inflated ego or unstable alliances. Ketu in Scorpio, 11th house, disposed by Mars, Ketu fosters detachment from material alliances while strengthening karmic service in large organizations. The native may focus on legacy building, ethical governance, or spiritual administration, where Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga fully matures into long-term karmic leadership. The Dharma Karma Adhipati Yogas, Aquarius Lagna core principle, Dharma and Karma integration for Aquarius Lagna, ruled by Saturn, Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga forms through Venus, which rules both the 4th house, tome, institutions, property, public stability, and the 9th house, Libra, Dharma, higher wisdom, fortune. This creates a highly auspicious yoga where Venus merges institutional foundations, 4th with dharmic wisdom, 9th, allowing Aquarius natives to rise through public institutions, government, diplomacy, or academic leadership. When Venus is strong and Saturn's discipline stabilizes Venus's creative intelligence, this yoga manifests as refined leadership, karmic authority, and legacy-building roles that balance personal responsibility with public service. Venus, 4th and 9th Lord, in Taurus, 4th house, own sign, unafflicted. This is one of the most potent Dharma Karma Adhipati Yogas for Aquarius Rising. Venus stabilizes property, institutions, and leadership positions related to education, public administration, or institutional governance. The native may head educational bodies, public trusts, or cultural institutions while earning long-term respect for their refined leadership and balanced governance. Venus, 4th and 9th Lord in Libra, 9th house, own sign, unafflicted Venus in the 9th house, empowers the native's dharmic wisdom, international ties, and higher learning. The individual may excel in diplomacy, law, global organizations, or policy leadership, where ethical principles, refined diplomacy, and intellectual maturity guide public service. Saturn, Lagna Lord in Aquarius, 1st house, own sign, anchoring personal responsibility and karmic maturity. Saturn strengthens patience, responsibility, and ethical leadership. When combined with Venus Dharma Karma link, the native becomes a steady and respected authority in governance, academia, or social reform, managing long-term public projects with stability and justice. Moon, 6th Lord in Taurus, 4th house, exalted, balancing emotional stability and institutional leadership. Exalted Moon in the 4th house adds emotional maturity, property management skills, and popularity in public service. The native governs institutions, manages property assets, or leads public welfare organizations with empathy and strategic control, balancing personal stability with professional demands. Jupiter, 2nd and 11th Lord in Sagittarius, 11th house, own sign, amplifying institutional wealth and alliances. Jupiter enhances financial growth, advisory roles, and alliances with influential networks. The native may rise as an economic advisor, wealth manager, or leader of institutional collaborations where financial wisdom supports public or governmental objectives. Mercury, 5th and 8th Lord, in Virgo, 8th house, exalted, refining institutional transformation and research governance. Exalted Mercury sharpens research, policy formation, and institutional reform. The native excels in legal reform, taxation, insurance, or administrative restructuring, guiding large organizations through intellectual precision and karmic responsibility. Mars, 3rd and 10th Lord in Aries, 3rd house, own sign, energizing administrative authority and policy execution. Mars empowers the native's courage in governance, communication, and administrative leadership. The native may lead in public administration, legal authority, or defense sectors, combining quick execution with Venus' refined diplomatic handling of public affairs. Rahu in Taurus, 4th house, amplifying institutional dominance and property management. Rahu magnifies the native's control over property, institutions, and administrative authority. Balanced properly, this leads to national or international leadership in public governance or institutional wealth. When imbalanced, it may create political ambition or excessive attachment to institutional power. Ketu in Scorpio, 10th house, disposed by Mars Ketu, fosters detachment from personal ambition while enhancing service-oriented career paths. The native becomes a highly respected administrator, judge, or institutional leader focused on legacy, service, and karmic contribution, allowing Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga to fully manifest its long-term public impact.